So, good evening guys, sorry for the small delay. We have unfortunately missed qualification this evening for OTL Season 3 Round 7 Austria. I am joined on time as well. Jensen was here on time this week and I let him down. How bad is that? Chat, if you're watching, I am sorry. But Jensen, oh there's me hearing myself twice. So yes, we are here. We have 36 laps of Austria and yes, Jensen is here. I'm trying to get things done as well as start the stream in a normal manner. It's not so easy done. I want to see tyres because obviously we didn't see qualification, so we'll have a quick run through of the tyres and the grid before we go. So we've got Fangio and Rage, P1 and P2, both on a medium compound tyre. Then we've got Rob Wells, Jock, Mikey, F Lewis, Merco, Ranger, JN Tex, F4 Fusion. That's the rest of the top 10 all on the softs. Then Mike P11, Skarma 12, Pedro 13 on mediums, and Dixie and Mitch at the back of the grid on the softs. How are we, Jensen?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good to be back.
Well, you were here, just you've been busy.
Yeah.
You were here in spirit. So, Fangio, a reserve of the day on pole. Don't know his lap time. A bit interested to know that.
3.8.
On the mediums?
Yes, he did.
Well, he's definitely a bit fast for OTL.
Yeah, should be in the lead.
Yes, so I don't understand why guys asked him in at that pace, but here we go, he's here, we're racing, it is what it is. He will, remember guys, he's just a reserve, so he will not take the championship points, so P2, if he stays in P1, P2 is first. Just remember that. Don't stress yourself too much about going and racing them, but you never know, race conditions can be very different.
Doing what?
So you can get lights out, Jensen, since you've not been here for a little while, I guess, and I will watch the back.
Oh, the grids. Look at it. Ah, it's recovered now, but it's 5 lights. And see, they're going to go now. And it's a good start from Fangio at the front, and looks like the other AlphaTauri going up the inside of Mr. Rage into turn 1. They're all going through here. I don't know if they're going to keep it clean. It looks pretty decent. Bit of grass being flicked up, but Fangio's got a rocket start. And Mr. Rage defending from 2 cars either side of him. The AlphaTauri going around the outside of Jock, and he can't get the move done as they come out of turn 3. It's all shifting about here.
Yes. Pretty much
grass
the same at the back of the pack, Jensen, I think. Yes, offline seems very dirty, or that is a vehicle doing that. I'm not really sure what's going on.
That is a vehicle.
So I hope people aren't seeing that in front. I hope that's not a bug. It's either Merco, I think Ranger's doing it as well. So that's an interesting one. Further back in the pack though, it was very much the same.
That's JTEX. He's in a spin out of turn 7. He is, yeah.
And we have Rob Wills and Mike. Mike actually gets the job done in the second to last corner on the outside of Rob Wills. Mike already up to P8 on his medium compound tyre, making very good gains.
He's qualified outside the top 10. He's on hard.
He's on the Chris special setup.
Oh, they got 2 Red Bulls.
And there is a lot of dust halfway up the main straight, if you want to call it that. I see when cars go through, they seem to kick up a hell of a lot. And look, Mike is already all over the back of Mikey. So Mike has been our biggest gainer. Ranger and F Lewis have managed to grab a few positions. Mikey lost out a couple on the start, so just wondering if he get bogged down a little bit. As we see Mikey on the low fuel strategy. I don't think in F1 2021 you should be starting the race with your fuel light on.
Unless you anticipate safety driver and that, you're going to be under safe with fuel. Because you ain't going to get to the end.
No. And yes, Fangio is lapping very quick. So he's just checking out. The midfield battle is going to stay hot. And look at Rob Wills over the back of Mike in a soft compound tyre. He's going to come for one. Oh no, things better over. Mike very good in the brakes into the hairpin there.
Oh, it's a bit of a poor corner from Rob. He's got Skarma over the back of him, but I don't think Skarma's going to make a move. Robbo's still got the DRS to Mike, and Mike is over the back of Mikey. Two Mikes gonna battle it out here.
Oh, and look, the penalty, the first penalty of the session. I think we are only on lap 2. It's not
Ranger's
lap 3.
gone. Ranger's gone from turn 7. His car's in the middle of the track, and pretty sure it's ghosted, so he shouldn't.
And he does well there not to just drive back on the track and cut another driver up, so fair play to Ranger. And I think that's going to be the theme of today, Jensen. Spins and penalties. If you can keep the car on track and keep the
eyes spun again.
So yeah, just too hot. And as you come into that faster first downhill right-hander, it's
cutting to the hits there, and yeah, those tyres pretty much dead. And the Red Bull swapping around again. Mikey getting through his teammate now. Probably at the sight of Mike over the back. Is Mike going to go for a move on Mirko?
And Mirko, look at Mirko down at 11% energy already, Jensen, on lap 3 of the race. I think that's very low, very early.
That was a huge lock up on the entire right hand side of Mike there.
I think it was that Rob. I did see that in the background there. And Mikey and Mirko are starting to be in the cork in the bottle, it seems, for this mid-pack training. Mikey, Rob, Will, Scum, if they feel they've got pace, they need to try and get through this, because look at the front four. They're slowly but surely breaking away. The gap for the front four to Mikey now 2.4 seconds. On Jock's out. Jock's dropped out the last corner. That could be the safety car that Mikey was looking for, and it is. So, soft runners have a choice.
Well, that's done Mike bits here, I think, because I don't think the hards or mediums will make it to the end from here, so
no.
Mike is going to gain track position, maybe, on the Red Bull, unless they stay out.
And it's a tough call for the soft compound tyre as well, because the hard is not a good tyre to race here. Although Mike is on them, I've just seen that. Wait, Mike, it was showing me Mike on mediums, what the hell?
Yeah, Mike, he's on the better tyres.
Oh, as it stands, yes.
Long,
yes.
I think.
A very interesting strategy from Michael there. I'm a bit of a penis. I got that all wrong. See, that's what happens when you have a very erratic start. I apologise, chat, and to Jensen. I hate being late. So, is Fangio pitting? No, he won't. Rage won't. Medium tyre, no reason to pit at the moment. These tyres are good for another 20 laps at least.
They remember they have to commit to the pit lane if they wanted to pit. There goes a few.
Let's just check the guys further back just to make sure they're using it all appropriately.
So 4 pit stops. F. Lewis, Rob, Mikey and Confusion. So they're all going for mediums and hards.
Mediums and hards. Oh yeah, it's a straight split, 2 mediums, 2 hards. So Mike is playing the long game on his hard compound. Right, Mirko needs to come out of AI, because the AI just done some very weird braking right in front of Mike there. Mike done very well to avoid making contact. So let's check warnings. This is what I'm interested by. Could you have a quick flush through, Jensen? Because I believe most, if not all, drivers may have a warning by now.
Leader does not, Fangio does not have a warning, Rage has 2 warnings, Mirko penalty plus, or just a penalty I think, Mike only 1 warning, Scarman nothing, Pedro nothing, Adam nothing, Mitch 1 warning, Lewis 1 warning, Mikey nothing, Rob Rose nothing, Fusion 2 warnings.
And Mirko dives to the box.
2 warnings. Ranger 1 warning.
So they all have something.
Most have something.
Robert Kelly says, sorry guys, first race in a bend. No, never be sorry. I assume you were Jock. Don't be sorry, Jock, and I am Chris Alien. Sorry for I never meant to actually start a party with you. I was just in reading your message and I was that flustered trying to get things going that yeah, started the party by mistake. So Yes, sir.
Oh.
Never apologise for being in the car, mate. It's your first time here. It's a learning curve and a learning process, and I am sure you showed good pace, so I am sure you'll be back at some point and we will see you do very well. So, nerves got, yes, it can be, and I think that's one thing that a lot of people talk about, Jock. League racing can be quite nerve-wracking at times. I've had it myself, especially last week when I was racing Austria and Elite. I had a really strong position and I just struggled to keep myself in check, because if you don't keep, especially Austria, the car, there's so many corners. If you're just slightly too aggressive or slightly off ball, the car will just end up in the wall and it's over. Or in my case, you just pick up penalty after penalty after penalty and it costs you dearly, and Mike puts the car away onto the grass trying to get heat in the thing. So we have the restart on our way, and Fangio is now off, so Mike needs to be careful in his the hard compound tyre. Eflu's choosing to go into the pit, so I think he's looking to get rid of that 5-second time penalty he got very early.
Yeah, it's probably the wrong time to serve it there.
Oh, and Skarma well. All over the road here at the moment, and he could come under attack here from Pedro. Pedro choosing not to use any overtake at the moment.
So
Skarma
just
dead.
5 seconds serving. He's going on to hard tyres though, Chris.
So he's probably going to go to the end now. I think he will get the 27 laps needed from that tyre.
Yeah, and Jock's
and we have Mitch and Rob Wells. Look at Mitch side by side here. He's got another driver coming down his inside and Ranger out. Ranger YouTube looking for the outside. Mike sees the guys coming under attack. He yields on the outside line, and that allows GNTEX through in the inside. And now Mitch is under pressure from Fusion and Merkel behind. He's trying his best just to keep steady. It's good to see him in a fighting position as well. And he's trying to defend using the overtake, trying to just keep the guys behind. He knows he's got a race to run just as much as the others. So he's continuing on, obviously on that older tyre, so he's just hanging on at the moment as Mitch. Connor, I think Merkel was further back, but he took a pit stop, early safety car. He was running P4 or P5, but just for the safety car there, he's took the early pit stop, so that's what's filtered him back down. And then on the restart there, well, as you can see, if we go on board with Merkel, 3 wide, he did try to come for a run there on the inside, but just 2 cars wide into the hairpin, it is very, very hard. It does look like he wants a move in Fusion. He's going for a big send down the inside. Fusion thinks they're defending it. There's going to be a bit of squeeze on. Oh, and a bit of wheel banging there, but they both get through. Ranger and GNTEX, look at that, side by side through the S's. Ranger leaving the space, as is GNTEX, and a good bit of racing between the two there. So Mike now, Jensen, P3, in the DRS range of Rage, and catching Fangio.
Yeah,
Mike is looking
going pretty
very,
well.
very good.
He's only 2 seconds away from the leaders. So I'd say come the next few laps, so it's hard to come right into the window he wants.
Yeah, and I think he's done the right thing. He spent a bit of the energy to get on at the back of the train, and now I think that he's just going to. He may now just recover a bit, although it's not so easy at Austria. Pedro running that solid P5, 2.7 seconds up the road from Mikey. And Pedro actually hanging on pretty well on that older hard compound, so he's going to be going very deep. I would assume the guys in the medium, they're probably going to be looking to go to lap at least 20, maybe 22, maybe even 23. Can't even remember what the lap, what kind of rough lap is for a medium compound. Do you remember off the top of your head, Jensen?
Not really. It's hard to tell now because of the performance.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. There's been an incident that JTX has had a spin turn 1, but he's going again. He keeps his tyres in check, and Ranger gets past Adam.
Pedro attacking Skarma now. He needs to pay attention here. Skarma's light is flashing. He has a 20% advantage now in energy, so he just needs to stay with them and wait till after turn 1 and get the move down into the hairpin.
Yes, Skarma's doing pretty well. He's only 2 seconds off the lead at the moment.
Skarma and Pedro got tremendous pace at the moment.
Pedro and P5?
I know.
Pedro's been putting in brilliant performances the last few races.
That's one thing I would say. If we're talking about a driver that's really came on in the last few races, Pedro is probably one of them. He's had a couple of unlucky incidents that took good results away from him. And I think we'll see him mount an attack here now in Skarma. Skarma will pick up another warning for that one, guaranteed. Pedro not using any overtake. You can see the light flashing, he's struggling. I think Skarma is spending all of his energy. Yes, he is down to 2%. So is Pedro going to go for it here? No, he's happy at the moment. Do we have... Oh, look at Merco and Ranger here. Oh no, that was bad. That was bad. That looked like that's going to be a safety car, I think.
Yeah,
that
looked like
again. A double defender.
What happened? I actually don't know what happened.
So Merco pulled to the right of Ranger to go down the outside, and from my point of view, just at glance, it was just glanced on, it looked like Ranger made another move to the right hand side. As Merco tried to go down, it put Merco on the grass and just spun the car out into the wall.
Oh, that's... there's going to be a lot of pit stops. Mike as well in the pit. I think they're going to go medium tyres.
Probably
Mike
to the end.
He'll take the lead of the race. He might, if he could get those tyres to the end.
Oh, and look, Fangio's went to soft, Jensen.
He's going to go for the 2-stop bend, that's confirmed. Mr. Rage, he goes for another set of mediums, so that's a confirmed 2-stop. Mike has probably benefited the most out of this, Chris.
Pedro went to another medium as well. Pedro's sunk to 2-stop because he started on the mediums, right?
Yeah.
I'm interested at lap 13 that drivers would choose to 2-stop from here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Because I would think the 1-stop here, anybody that went to a medium compound tyre has a really big advantage as long as they started on a different tyre. So Rage, not so much. Mike, definitely, he can go to the end on that tyre, guaranteed. You will get 23 laps, no issue. I done 20 laps in the practice session beforehand, and my tyres were only at 50%. So you'll get the other 3 or 4 laps you're looking for out of that.
So I think it's being again next lap. There could be plenty more safety cars this race as well.
Yes, because Austria bites and bites hard.
Is probably one of the trickiest.
Oh, and Fusion's lagged out. I will get him in a little invite to bear with me, chat.
It's one of the trickiest tracks for tyre temp as well, so Upper, Sandbot, Silverstone.
F for Fusion. Where is he? Oh no.
Do you need me to invite?
Yeah, could you?
No.
Oh,
I don't think I can invite people, I don't know. Actually, yes, I can, don't worry.
Fusion, if you're watching, there is one on your way, my friend. An invite coming.
It is sent. I'll send another one.
And please don't leave just because we say something. We're commentators. We've got to say everything to make it sound exciting, but I got a very small glance at that incident, so it was maybe absolutely nothing. But let's hope he can get back in. The safety car will probably go in this lap, as Jensen says.
It should come in about now. There we go.
Wow, wow, that was literally as you said it. That was scary.
I know precisely the point it comes in. usually around this track. It doesn't come into the sector line. It always seems to come in just before turn 6.
So Mikey now is a restart. Ranger on the hard compound tyre. That's going to be tricky on the restart. The first lap or two, and you certainly don't want to clip the grass like that. Mikey looks like he plans on going a bit later. Oh, and he's off, so the pack is away. Oh, and Mikey's had a big moment, he's put wide.
Oh,
so this is it now.
Side by side.
You can't overtake to the line, but now he can. So it's a drag
they're going to
race.
get 3 wide here, Chris. Oh, and a bit of movement under straight. Fangio trying to go around the outside, but he can't find the gap. Oh, it made a bit of contact as well to turn 1. Ranger's got the position. It might have been a bit of a dodgy position game there. He kind of tapped Mikey, but they're going to go side by side into turn 3. It's Fangio going to go around the outside. Ranger gives the space. Fangio's got the move done.
Good racing there.
Taking full advantage of that, and Mikey and Mr. Rage going wheel to wheel into turn 4, Chris.
Oh, sorry. And look
and
at
Mike
this.
Gets the exit.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Mike's got an absolutely tremendous launch out of 4.
And Mikey's going to keep his nose in there. They're going to go wheel to wheel through this bit. They're going to carry on wheel to wheel. And Mikey's going to take that the position. And oh, there's been a bit of contact between Ranger and Mr. Rage. Mikey sends it up the inside. It's all going mental here. Going side by side again. And there goes Mr. Rage on the outside of Ranger, and they're going all over the place. And oh, there's a bit more contact there. Mr. Rage had a spin. Is he in the wall? He's just tapped the wall, but he's alright. He's carrying on. Hopefully with no damage.
Yeah,
just
he
a
did.
Light tap of the wall.
Somehow he managed to keep it out of the wall.
Just about. And
but all in all, that looks some
going
really good racing.
There goes
there.
Mike. Mike is making the move on Ranger, and he's going to take P3 or net P2 now.
Fusion,
Mike can get his time, yeah.
if you can get back on, the invite was sent for you to get back into the race, mate. So hopefully you can. Oh, and Mike wants to be careful on that inside curb. That will whip you round in a heartbeat. Now Pedro, does he trying? He's got to push through. The guys too stopping need to get through the traffic. Otherwise, their race is over. Here comes Pedro on the big push now against Skarma. Is he going to ever go down into turn 1? Skarma's using a load of energy to try and defend. Not going to be the move this time around.
Oh, Mikey went a little bit wide. Through turn 1.
So here we go. Skarma coming out against Ranger, and Pedro maybe looking at a move as well. Ranger takes the inside line of 2. Look at Pedro maybe thinking about the outside. Not quite this time around. Skarma goes very deep in the hairpin. That'll give Ranger the run back, and Pedro the run on the outside line as well. So Ranger and Pedro both go through, as does Mike, as since I said. Sorry, man.
And Rob Wills has gone through, and Skarma gets the cut back on him. In a little
and Pedro sends one round the outside, and Ranger on that medium compound tyre absolutely steams away. Look how strong my setup is in the middle sector. It's lovely.
And there's been an instant. It's Adam. He's in a spin.
Ah, Dixie, you dick. Sorry, chat. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
Poor Adam, you've hurt his feelings.
GN now and F. Lewis. These two guys have had some good battles before. And F. Lewis, of course, he was down and out, and he's right back in this race. Got to be one of the luckiest drivers I have ever met. Period. F. Lewis. The way he can steal wins and sneak wins is disgusting. But GN sends one down the inside. It was a big move in the brakes as well. Snatched an inside lock-up, and F. Lewis might get the return, but not quite that time around.
F. Lewis got good experience around Austria. He's good at not picking up penalties as well.
And he knows how worthy not getting a penalty is at Austria.
Yeah, in elite P2.
I wanted to cry.
He was P1 until there was a penalty removal for
Smalley did, I think.
Smalley. Yeah. but he's still got P2 in that race, so it just shows how rewarding no penalties could get you if there's any late occurrence of a safety car or something. But
so Pedro has decided that it's go time. He is breaking away. He's trying to get out of that DRS. I know. Telling you, that race setup I've got is genius. They all stole it from me, Jensen.
I think Pedro needs Rob Wills and Ranger to battle.
Yes.
And Rob Wills is pushing, he's stopped using his energy.
Ranger trying to play some songs there and he downshift, it sounded like.
Did Alfie ever join back the session?
His internet went fully down. I think he's going to try and get back in at some point, yeah.
Fair enough.
So gainers and losers of the session: Mike up 9, Mikey up 2, Pedro up 9, Ranger up 3, Rob Wills has lost 3, Ranger has a big moment at the second to last corner there. JN Tex up 2, Scalm up 4, F-Lewis down 3, Mr. Rage down 8, Mitch up 4, Fusion down 2, and Dixie, even though with that big moment, he's still up 1 position. And Pedro has now broke the DRS. So
yep,
he's put himself in a very comfortable position in that P4.
There we go. Ranger at centre up the inside, he goes wide. And oh, will he have to give that position back? He gained it off the road. And going wide.
Who is that?
Ranger. He got past in the braking zone, but he went deep. It depends if Rob Wills can actually get the overtake done normally. He's right on the back of him. On much better
Oh,
tyres.
he's had a big moment, so that'll be it.
Yeah.
Woo. Very well held though, because that was a big wobble.
And goes in the pits. Bit on the limits of the line there. Oh god, he hit a wall into the pits there. He's really struggling with the tyres. And he makes the pit stop now. It's medium tyres to the end of the race. And he gets a new front wing on. Probably from damage he picked up into the pits.
Dixie picks up another time penalty for multiple warnings, so let's just stay. Oh, Pedro and JNTEX having a go at each other here. JNTEX is going to tuck back in, and JNTEX starting to find a bit of speed. Pedro defends the inside line, but JNTEX gives him the switch. Pedro's going to try and hold it on the outside line though. Maybe get a switch back, but JNTEX goes through. Pedro's just running his race at the moment. Oh, and Mike picks up a penalty.
That is not what he wanted for his chances of a victory,
but the fact he's only get 3 at lap 21 compared to how he done last week, he is driving much more steady.
Sorry Chris mate, hope this isn't a bad time, but I might need to go.
You do what you got to do, sir.
Yeah, sorry to leave you.
No, you're absolutely fine, mate. I understand you've got other things to do.
Cheers, good. Yeah.
Yes, I will speak to you soon, sir. So Pedro's staying with JNTEX, so he has a bit of a wobble there, but he just needs to stay. Keep using the overtake a little bit, keep himself in that pocket, and Pedro could be on for a great race. Some good scoring positions, keep the penalties down, and well, you never know. Mr. Rage recovering really well. Also, so he's going to be one to watch. F. Lewis and Mr. Rage now having a little fight, although Mr. Rage has a little bit of a wobble. F. Lewis, sorry, and falls back. Ranger picks up another time penalty. Multiple warnings. And then takes the fastest lap of the race. So that's interesting. You tend not to get the fastest lap when you get the time penalty, but maybe that's changed. So Fangio up front, 60% energy on his soft compound tyre that he's been on now for 9 laps. Mike on his medium going to have to box. What was pole, Jamie? Unfortunately, mate, I do not know, because we were late getting the stream up. It was, I think, a 3.8 on the mediums though for Fangio. So, yeah, a little bit quick. We've got a yellow flag, sector 3. Ranger had another moment and the wing is off. So he needs to be careful, and somehow, oh yep, the famous turn 9. You're absolutely welcome, Jamie. Wait, how come you're not here, sir? Are you busy? You could have won here tonight, I think, Jamie. I think you'd have gave Mike and Fangio a damn good go anyway. And take your Baku time and shove it up your bum. Just kidding, mate. So Pedro on the back. We've got a BSC out, so obviously that neutralises the pack. It's just about keeping your timings up. Do not pick up a drive-through. And of course Fangio gets the cheap stop. This hurts Mike. DRS enabled, so Mike gets to go down. And Fangio has probably saved, nah, he's probably gained a few seconds there for sure in terms of the pit stop. So let's see exactly where he comes out. For some reason we're not getting to see him in the pit stop, so he's going to drop, I think, very close to Skarma here. Skarma may even try and attack him. Nah, not quite. So let's see the gap to leader. Leader gap. He is 10.3 seconds behind Mike. He's going to have a soft tyre that's good till about lap 32, 33. And then it's going to fall out the window, and it will be a hanging on game for Fangio. He seems to have the pace, but F. Lewis is not going to let him have nothing. Tries to hang on the inside, but the superior grip in the soft compound tyre is, yeah. Not a match. Let's look at these penalties again. Mr. Rage on the 12 seconds, and maybe I want to come off though, one maybe for the incident. And we've got a yellow flag. Oh, and it's Mikey. Mikey is round. Oh no, and I think he just boxed. No, Mikey. Pedro now in P3. Him and Gentex absolutely leveling the energy. And Pedro has been the one giving us all the action, although Fangio here now on the back of Rob Wills, but this is going to be an easy move, and yeah. So as it stands, Mike will win, Gentex will get the P2 points, Pedro will get the P3 points, but even if Fangio overtakes them, that is still the case. And if Pedro just stays there with Gentex, he finishes P2, 10 laps to go. Pedro is the closest battle at the moment. Fangio's going to be closing in on him too. And he's going to have to spend a bit now as Pedro to try and claw back that DRS. And I think he'll maybe just snatch it there. He does with that use of the deployment there. Snatches it back, use a bit more, close the gap. You want to keep the gap down at about 6 tenths. If you can keep it at 6 tenths, you should be able to stay in the window. And I think Pedro knows Fangio is not his fight. He's just going to stay to the left, let Fangio have his line. he will come down the inside. Pedro leaves the room, and he's just going to hang on to the back. Maybe even try something cheeky here and follow Fangio through with and catch Gentex. He's got a nice cushion out of Rob Wills' Pedro, 2.1 seconds, so P3 is looking very good. Gentex picks up another time penalty, so that's huge for Pedro finishing on the podium here. Oh, Pedro not in, he boxes, so Pedro's in. He's going to go for that soft compound tyre. And missed opportunity there for Pedro on the strategy, I think, because he's going to fall way down the order here. So Pedro falls to P8 on the soft compound tyre, and yeah, I think that'll be now probably race over for Pedro on the strategy call. The 2-stop was not the play from that safety car. If somebody has spoken their ear, they're a bad man, because they told them the wrong way. To get a safety car after lap 10, you should be looking to just get the tyre on that gets you to the end. In Pedro's case, he'd have probably been good to bolt on the hard, because he'd been on the medium, and just take it to the end of the race. Fangio and Michael needs to find 1.7 seconds, and he will come in that penalty window. Pedro and Mitch here are starting to have a bit of a battle. And there goes Pedro away through the soft compound tyre. Can he catch Mr. Rage, Skarma, F. Lewis and Rob? This is a question. He really needs to get the foot down on that tyre. Can he make this work? 7.5 seconds the gap to Rage. I think it's just too much time. And the time he gets there, the soft's going to be gone. So Mike being closed in, not massively though. And the gaps have kind of spread out a bit. Mitch under pressure here from Mikey. I think this will be it for Mitch. But he's got a nice big cushion staying inside that top 10. So, yep, he's only found 3/10, or not even half a second in the couple of laps he's been out now, so I think that one is over. But Mr. Rage is recovering well, although he has the mass amount of penalties, so that's going to drop him way down the order. And Gentex as well, he needs to find some time. Mr. Rage gets through on Skarma, continues his recovery job. So, Mike leads away, Fangio in P2, gaining on Mike. By the time he gets there, that's soft, they'll be hurting just a little bit. JNTX in P3, Rob Wills 4, F. Lewis P5, Mr. Rage P6, Skarma 7th, Pedro 8th, Mikey 9th, Mitch 10, Fusion 11 and Dixie P12. Mr. Rage picks up another time penalty. Fangio gaining. Oh, Mr. Rage and F. Lewis doing a bit of racing here, so let's watch this battle. Mr. Rage tries to go on the outside line and he can just break way later there on that compound of tyre. Through he goes. F. Lewis trying, but I don't think he's going to be close enough, and the hard tyre just won't be able to send that distance. We do plateau in Austria, this is the only thing, especially when the drivers are a bit smaller as well. Fangio goes through on Mike, which we thought would happen. Mike staying with him. So where is the next gap? F. Lewis is actually doing a good job to stay on the back of Mr. Rage. Sorry if I'm not very aware, guys. It's been a long weekend. Skarma running a solid P7. Pedro gaining, but of course he's got that time penalty, so even if he does gain, he's never going to be able to break away. As Fangio is on the penultimate lap of the race, might be able to stay close to that DRS range. Dixie doing bits there to stay well out of the way, good man. Fangio has now broke the DRS. Rob Wills on the back of Mr. Rage in his medium compound tyre, so Rob Wills looks good for a podium here as well. Oh, and F. Lewis is round! Oh no, F. Lewis has went round. As Fangio goes on to the last lap of the race, F. Lewis and his hard compound tyre. He's had a bit of a mare there, and unfortunately he's lost the wing, so I don't even think it's worth him going to the end. He needs the box to replace that on the last lap of the race. That's not so good. Fangio, the middle sector for the last time. In fact, he's just coming into sector 3. He picks up a time penalty as well, but he's maybe just been pushing on now. He knows he had a penalty to take because Mike have him on behind. It's not such a big issue, so Fangio is going to take the checkered flag, but Mike will take home the 30 points. Fangio wins, Mike will come home with a P2. Mike will get the 30 points though. JNTX will be P3, Mr. Rage will be P4, but things are about to change and change dramatically, so let's see once the time penalties are down where it all goes. GN-Tex will take that P3 slot. Mr. Rage will be P4, but watch him fall down. Rob Wells, where the C jump, he gets the P4, so Rob Wells gets the podium points. Skarma, does he get P5? Yes, he does. And Pedro gets Mr. Rage as well, he gets P6. And Mikey jumps on both. Mikey gets up to P6, Pedro 7, Mr. Rage down to 8. F. Lewis did commit to staying out on the broken wing, so the wounded horse gets home. No penalties. And Mitch rounds out what I think was the top 10. Yes, he did. And Dixie and Ranger YouTube P11 and P12. Mike gets the driver of the day from his P11 start to P2 in the grid. A couple of really standout performances there as well. Fine. Pedro stood out a lot today. Skarma had a solid race. Rob Welsh turning up again. We've seen him have good ones before. So let's just check our podium. We'll get our Fanjo, not Fanjo, but it'll be Mike, GN-Tex and Rob Wells in for a chitty chat. So we'll see if we can get them. If you just bear with me 1 second, the screen will go blue for a little bit, but we will get them in for a chat. Excuse me. So we need Mike. We also need ENTXJ and Rob Wells. Do I have Rob? Oh, I don't think I do. I don't know his name. Don't know his full gamer tag. Oh, I've done that wrong a minute there. So we'll get Mike and GN-Tex, because I'm stupid and I forgot to actually hit send, and then I'll see if one of the guys have got Rob. So I don't seem to have him. So where is Michael? There's GN-Tex. There is Mike. So get those two gentlemen in, and then yeah, we'll see if one of them can invite Rob Wells. It's Rob Wells 123. I may actually be able to get it. I might actually be able to get it now. Rob Wells with 1 L. That would be the problem. Bear with me 1 second. ENTXJ, just till we get Rob in. Hello. We'll just wait on young Michael.
Yes, sir.
And there is young Mike, and we will have Rob Wells. I don't know if Rob Wells is a chatter. I guess we'll find out very soon if he's coming for a chat. But we will just start with Mike. Mike, P2 at the line, but a reserve, of course, in that P1 slot. So 30 points in the bag. As good could be today. Kept the penalties down compared to last week. I think that was one of your main focuses, and you've done that. So, happy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, you obviously didn't see qualifying, but it was a
bit of a mare.
Extensive towards a mare. So, starting kind of, it was P11. I really liked the hards around here, so I was able to keep like okay pace on them. Then obviously I pitted for the mediums. Probably just safety car lap too early. 1 or 2 more, and then maybe could have held on to P1 on track.
Yeah, that's what I felt. So the middle safety car was not the first one. It was quite an easy choice for drivers. If you were on that harder compound, the 2 or the harder compound, just keep going. The soft guys could get off them. They were kind of forced their hand on a 2-stop then. But the middle one was tricky, because for the guys that started in the medium compound tyre, or the hard, it was a bit easier. But these medium guys, they knew the hard was going to be a struggle at the end of the race, because there was going to be guys in a more competitive tyre.
Yeah, it's a weird one, because like obviously I felt really comfortable on the hards, and they were only on like what, about 15 something % when the safety car came out, so they would have been all good. And you know yourself, the hards, you're never like over 5/10 off your delta, you know.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting to see if one or two of the boys went from hards just to see where the pace was, but obviously they didn't. So it kind of just opened the door once Rage spun to just kind of waltz and take my time after I cleared Mikey, obviously.
Yes, and there was some really good action in the middle, especially after the restart. Sometimes you were threatening going 3 wide into turn 1, but everybody managed to just keep their noses clean. And yeah, I think that was some quite exciting racing there.
Yeah, it was very, very scary.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That would be the word to describe it. 4 wide into across the line, like just no thank you. And then there was a time where it was 2 by 2 into the last kind of second last corner, and it was just like, no, I'm not having any of it.
Better safe than sorry. But 30 points bagged, that's the main thing. The job is done. And we move on to the next one. Very well done, Mike.
Thank you very much.
ENTXJ. Another solid drive, man. You're just really starting to string these together.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I can keep getting a couple more podiums for the rest of the season. I need to stop fucking making these mistakes at the start of the race, though.
Yes, there was. I think Austria's a funny one. I've always said when Austria bites, there is no getting away with it. It flings you off that bad that you're always going to end up near the back of the grid. But to recover, I think shows just kind of what pace you're putting out. I know the safety car maybe helped to pull a couple of drivers back into the race, but you still had to get some overtakes done and get yourself through the pack, and you've done that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty happy with the way I recovered after the second spin. The safety car came out, and then I got stuck behind Mitch because he had a 5-second penalty in the pits. But so yeah, to come from I think 15th through to second, I'll definitely take that.
Yes. Oh, I don't even know. I had something to ask you, GNTX, and it's just totally went out of my head about a specific point in the race. I was thinking about this.
My fight with the Ranger, maybe?
I think it might have been.
Yeah, that was a good battle. I can't even remember how it ended, but yeah, we were like side by side through like the whole lap. It was really good.
And of course, you get P2 points today because we had the reserve in that P1 slot, so he doesn't score any points. So 25 points home is it's a really good haul.
Yeah, very happy with that. Very happy.
What else? What else? There was something else. What your tyres? What did you start on, ENTXG?
I started on softs.
So you went aggressive early. Do you feel that maybe that was what caused the early moment? Just forcing too much early?
Yeah, I think so far this season I have a tendency to go way too hard, way too early. Same with Spain, same with Monaco as well. I put way too much through the car way too early in the race, and it cost me. So yeah, I think that was just the case again today. I was too tough on the accelerator.
Yeah. But as you say, you recovered to P2, 25 points home, so very, very good effort. Yeah, very well done.
Thank you.
Rob, we nearly had an opportunity. I think this is the first time we spoke. We nearly had an opportunity in Baku, and it kind of all fell away.
It fell apart massively with about 10 laps to go.
So we are now here. Very well done. You kept your nose very clean today. Again, another guy in quite a few battles. I think you were in a lot of 3-car battles a lot of the time. So you got to be happy with what you brought home.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I was gutted at the end because I would have had second, but 2 corners from home I decided to just nip inside curb at middle chicane and got myself a 3-second penalty because I'd only had 2 warnings all the way around. And that cost me on JNTX because I'd bridged the gap because I let Mr. Rage pass me because he were flying, but I kept DRS for the last 2 laps and I broke the gap under 6 seconds, so I thought I'd got second and then I messed it up with 2 corners to go, which has been my habit, unfortunately.
But you brought the podium home this time, still, even though that mistake, it's progression, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So that's what matters.
Starts are still my biggest issue. I keep losing too many places off start line.
And I think you were one of the few. Of course, you picked up the penalty early, but you were one of the only few to keep the penalties right down.
Yeah, because I weren't pushing too hard. I realised after first safety car I went onto hard, so I was going to try and run to end just on a one stop. But second safety car, I thought, sod it, it's another 3 pit stop, so I went to mediums and I just kind of sat in a decent gap all the way around. People had incidents. I picked off a few people here and there. I picked off Paul, I think, just after the second safety car, and then a couple of others around him. So I just kind of tried to keep it as clean as I could and actually finish what I'd started for a change.
And you went on to do that, so very, very good effort. And of course, you get the P3 points, like I said to Mike and Thingy, because God, I don't even remember the lad's name.
Lol Fanjo or something.
Fanjo, that's it. I was calling him Fanjo all day, because that's what just I kept saying. Yeah, he obviously reserves, so he doesn't get the points. And I think he was quite nippy today as well, so maybe look
it was
at
ridiculously fast.
Yes,
Yep.
almost Wednesday pace.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
So that aside, I think yourself, ENTXJ and Mike definitely looked him aside, probably the 3 strongest drivers on track. F. Lewis drove really well, but the hard tyres just really started to struggle near the end of the race. But in regards to pace, I think you 3 up the front there just seem to be that little bit ahead of the other guys that you've raced with every week, so very, very well done.
Yeah, we're good, and just consistency around that track's better than just trying to push like mad, I think.
Yes,
Yeah, 100%.
very much so, because if you try and push, you just pick up penalties way too much, and then, well, I don't mean to down on any, but look at Rage. He finished like P4 and he dropped to P9 or P5, so they hurt. The penalty sting. I think he came home with like 18 or 21 seconds.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, anyways, on that note, Mike got driver of the day from the game, and my driver of the day has to be Skarma. P12 to P5. It was close. Pedro was driving a great race, and he just blew it on the second safety car. Picked the wrong strategy. I think if he maybe went another way, he could have been right up there. He looked really good for a podium, but these things happen. Mike gets driver of the day from the game. I give mines to Skarma, or the comms to Skarma, and that is us for the evening. Again, sorry for the delay in missing comms. Oh my god, my brain's not working. Missing quali. That was just a little bit on my end, so I apologise. But the guys will be back next Monday, and Elite will be live on Wednesday with, I don't even know what track. It's a track.
Britain.
Oh, there we go. Britain. I race in there and these guys know better than me. So on that note, guys, the Racing Hub will be back on Wednesday, and you'll see Mike, GNTX and Rob again next Monday.